Hello, my friend. I'm Dr. Mary Parker, urologist and wellness educator, and today I want to talk to you as if we were sitting at the same table with a cup of tea between us, having one of those honest conversations that can change the course of your health. For decades, people have been told that after 55, poor circulation, constant tiredness, heavy legs, and a fading intimate life are just normal signs of aging, as if the body had a switch that turns off at a certain birthday and there is nothing you can do about it. But what I've seen in science and in real people is very different. In most cases, it is not age that destroys your blood flow. It is a very specific daily habit that looks harmless, feels comfortable, and is socially accepted as rest. But after 55, it quietly kills your circulation and your vitality. My purpose in this video is simple and direct. I want to show you what you absolutely must stop doing after 55 because it is slowly destroying your blood flow, and I want to give you a natural, realistic plan you can start applying today to support your heart, your brain, your legs, and also your intimate health and confidence in your relationship. I am not here to scare you or to lecture you. I am here to give you clarity so you can take back a sense of control over your body, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Let's go straight to the heart of the problem. There are many things that damage circulation: smoking, poor diet, uncontrolled blood pressure, lack of sleep, chronic stress. But today, I want to focus on one particular habit because it is the most underestimated, the most normalized, and, after 55, one of the most dangerous for your arteries. The habit is this: spending long, uninterrupted blocks of time sitting or semi-lying down, almost without moving, day after day, especially after meals and in the late afternoon and evening, not just resting for a bit. I'm talking about hours in a chair or on the couch with your hips bent, your knees at 90 degrees, your calf muscles asleep, your ankles still, usually in front of a screen. Maybe this scene sounds familiar. You wake up, have breakfast, sit to check your phone or watch the news. Later, you sit to work at the computer, read, or do paperwork. Then you sit to eat lunch. After lunch, you feel heavy and tell yourself, "I'll just sit down for a while to relax." You find your favorite chair, turn on the TV, or open social media. You tell yourself it's only for half an hour, but one episode turns into another, one video leads to the next. You answer a few messages, read some headlines, maybe grab a snack and sit back down. When you finally look at the clock, 2 or 3 hours have passed. You stand up and your back complains, your legs feel tight, your ankles are a little swollen, your feet are cooler than the rest of your body, and your brain whispers, "Well, that's just age." Now imagine this not just one afternoon, but almost every afternoon. Add the time you spend sitting at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, in the car, in waiting rooms, at the computer, and on the sofa at night. Many people over 55 easily accumulate 8, 9, or even 10 hours a day in a mostly sedentary position. The body is awake, but the blood is moving like it's half asleep. In your 20s or 30s, your cardiovascular system could still compensate. Your arteries were more flexible, your heart pumped with more reserve, your muscles were more active. After 55, the system becomes less forgiving. Stiffer arteries, early plaque deposits, blood pressure changes, and loss of muscle mass mean that every hour of uninterrupted sitting costs more to your health. The consequences of this long sitting time show up in very concrete ways. You notice your legs swelling by the end of the day, especially around the ankles. There's a strange heaviness when you climb stairs that didn't bother you a few years ago. You feel more out of breath walking short distances. Your hands and feet tend to be colder. Sometimes you wake up at night with leg cramps. Small cuts on your lower legs take longer to heal. And quietly, something else begins to change. Your sense of vitality and maturity, and your confidence in your intimate life. The same weakened circulation that struggles to send blood to your feet also struggles to send blood to the most private areas of your body that depend on strong blood flow for a healthy response. I want to be very clear here. Poor circulation is not just a leg issue. Your bloodstream is your life transport system. It carries oxygen and nutrients to your brain so you can think clearly. It nourishes your heart so it can keep beating. It feeds your muscles so you can get up, walk, lift, and live independently. And yes, it nourishes your intimate organs so they can respond when your mind and emotions create a moment of closeness. There is no separate blood for your heart and different blood for your intimate health. It is one system. When that system slows down, every part of you feels it. To help you visualize what happens, imagine your circulation as a river. When the river flows freely, the water is clear, oxygenated, and full of life. When the water becomes stagnant, problems appear. Debris builds up, the flow slows, certain areas turn into small pools where things accumulate instead of moving. Your blood vessels behave similarly. When you move your body, your muscles contract and act like extra pumps that assist your heart. Every step you take, every squeeze of your calf muscles, helps push blood back toward your heart so it can be refreshed with oxygen and sent out again. But when you stay mostly still for hours, your heart is left to do almost all the work alone. Blood flow becomes slower, especially in the parts farthest from your heart, like your feet and lower legs. In your legs, this shows up as swelling, heaviness, and visible veins. In more advanced cases, chronic poor circulation in the legs can lead to varicose veins, skin changes, slow-healing wounds, and an increased risk of more serious complications. But the story doesn't end in the legs. That same sluggish blood flow affects the tiny vessels that supply your nerves, skin, and muscles all over your body. Over time, poor circulation is associated with loss of strength, slower recovery from effort, and a general sense of fatigue and fragility. And now let's talk about something many people are too shy to discuss, but shouldn't be: intimate health. Whether you are a man or a woman, your intimate response depends on one basic physical requirement: adequate blood flow to the tissues in that area at the right moment. Mental desire and emotional connection matter enormously, of course, but the physical response your body can create is limited by how efficiently blood reaches those tissues. For men, healthy circulation is fundamental for a firm and consistent response. For women, it is crucial for comfort, sensitivity, and a feeling of fullness and presence in intimacy. If your lifestyle keeps your arteries stiff and your blood moving slowly, your heart is not the only organ that suffers. Your intimate life does too. Many men believe that difficulties in intimacy after 55 are only about testosterone or just getting old. Many women think that a fading intimate response is due only to hormonal changes. Hormones do play a role, but over and over again in real life, when we look closely at someone's daily routine, we see a simple but powerful pattern: very long periods of sitting, minimal walking, little or no structured movement, and a life where the blood is just barely doing enough to keep the body upright, but not enough to nourish every corner of it. That is why I say this so firmly. After 55, living as if your body were a piece of furniture and your chair your closest companion is one of the most dangerous decisions you can make for your circulation. Rest is not the enemy. Rest is essential. What destroys your blood flow is prolonged inactivity without breaks, without small bursts of movement, without those natural interruptions that our bodies were designed to have. Your circulatory system was not built for 3-hour blocks of stillness. It was built for a body that gets up, bends, walks, reaches, turns, climbs, and alternates moments of rest with moments of activity throughout the day. The beautiful part of this story is that the same way prolonged sitting can slowly shut down your circulation, strategic movement can wake it up again, even if you are 60, 70, or older. And the tool I want to share with you today is a natural habit, completely free and surprisingly powerful. I call it the flow break habit. Tiny movement breaks that you sprinkle into your day to keep your blood flowing, your muscles active, and your vessels responsive. This is not about turning your life upside down. It is not about joining a gym if you hate gyms. It is not about running or doing intense workouts your joints cannot tolerate. It is about turning your normal day into a friend of your arteries instead of their enemy. Think of your day as a chain of opportunities. Every 30 to 40 minutes you spend sitting is an invitation for a 2 or 3 minute flow break. That's it. Short, gentle, consistent. If you are watching television, you can stand up every time a program segment ends or a natural pause appears. You walk around the room, march in place, or slowly pace from one wall to the other. If you are at the computer, you set a subtle reminder, like a soft chime or even a note next to the screen that says, "Stand and move." You get up, do 10 or 15 heel raises, Bend and extend your knees a few times, circle your ankles, and take some steps around the room. You might think, can something that small really matter? Yes, and here is why. These flow breaks do two crucial things. First, they improve venous return. They help blood that was pooling in your lower legs travel back to your heart so it can be refreshed with oxygen. Second, they wake up your nervous system and your brain. Every time you stand and move, your heart rate increases slightly, your breathing becomes a bit deeper, your muscles send signals back to your brain. The result is that foggy feeling you get after long sitting starts to lift. Little by little, your body remembers that it was designed to move, not just to occupy a chair. Now let's connect this with your pelvic area and intimate health, because these flow breaks help there too. When you sit for hours, you are literally sitting on your pelvis. You compress blood vessels and nerves that supply your intimate organs. The muscles at the base of your pelvis, the ones that support your bladder, your bowel, and your intimate structures, remain passive for long stretches of time. Over months and years, that combination of compression, poor blood flow, and inactivity can contribute to lower sensitivity, slower responses, and a general feeling of disconnection from that part of your body. When you stand, walk, move your hips, and activate your gluteal and abdominal muscles, you also improve blood flow in the pelvic region. If you add a very simple habit, gently contracting and relaxing your pelvic floor muscles during the day, you start to re-educate that area. You don't have to do anything complicated or embarrassing. Just become aware of those muscles and avoid leaving them completely abandoned for hours. Better circulation plus better muscle tone equals better support for your intimate health. It's not magic, it's physiology. Breathing is another powerful ally that most people ignore. When you sit slouched in a chair, with your back rounded and your abdomen compressed, you breathe shallowly. Your diaphragm, the main breathing muscle, moves less. But the diaphragm is not only for breathing, it also acts like a pump that helps venous blood return to the heart. Every deep breath gently massages your internal organs and affects the pressure inside your chest and abdomen, which in turn helps move blood. So if you combine your movement breaks with a few deep, slow breaths, you amplify the effect. You stand, you walk, and you take 10 slow breaths, allowing your belly to expand as you inhale and flatten as you exhale. You are giving your heart two types of help: muscular help from your legs and mechanical help from your diaphragm. Hydration also plays a quiet but important role. Well-hydrated blood flows more easily. When you drink very little water over the course of the day, your blood can become more concentrated and harder to move. After 55, the sensation of thirst often becomes less reliable. Many older adults are mildly dehydrated without realizing it. The solution is not to drink huge amounts of water at once, but to sip regularly. A simple trick is to pair your flow breaks with small glasses of water. Every time you stand up for a movement break, drink a bit. You are synchronizing 3 pro-circulation habits: movement, breathing, and hydration. I'd like to share a couple of real-life style examples with changed names to help you see how powerful these small changes can be. One of my patients, whom I'll call Robert, was 68. He came to see me because his legs felt heavy and swollen by the end of the day, and he was worried about his decreasing energy and intimate confidence. He blamed his age and the blood pressure pills he was taking. When we explored his routine, we saw that he sat more than 9 hours a day, mornings at the computer, afternoons watching TV, evenings on the sofa with his phone. He almost never walked more than a few minutes at a time. We made a very modest agreement. I did not ask him to start running or doing intense workouts. All I asked was this: stand and move every 30 to 40 minutes, walk inside his house for 3 minutes, do some heel raises while brushing his teeth or waiting in the kitchen, and add one gentle 10 to 15-minute walk after his main meal of the day. He also reduced his evening screen time just a little. 4 weeks later, he came back and said, "My ankles are less swollen, I can climb the stairs with less effort, I feel more mentally awake at night, and in my intimate life, I feel more alive." Nothing else in his medication had changed. What changed was his blood flow. Then there was Caroline, 63, who described herself as completely drained. She had varicose veins, knee discomfort, and believed exercise was impossible for her. We started at the lowest level, Flow breaks in her living room, slow ankle circles, seated marches, then standing marches holding onto a chair, and very short walks down the hallway. She practiced deep breathing while standing, with her hands on the table for balance. At first, 5 minutes of walking felt like a lot. After a few weeks, she could walk 20 minutes outside at a comfortable pace. Her legs were less swollen, she felt more stable when standing up, and her mood improved. Quietly, she noticed that her body began to feel more present and responsive in intimacy too. She hadn't taken a magic pill. She had simply stopped treating her body like a statue. The pattern in these stories is important. Circulation is trainable. You are not a victim of your birth date. Your vessels still have the capacity to adapt when you give them the right stimulus. Will you reverse decades of sedentary living in a week? No. If you have been mostly inactive for 10, 15, or 20 years, your system has had a long time to slow down. Your muscles may be weaker, your arteries stiffer, your tolerance for effort lower. So when you start to move more, you might feel tired at first. You might notice mild soreness as muscles wake up. This does not mean movement is bad for you. It means your body is waking from a long nap. The key is to be gentle but consistent. So what exactly should you stop doing after 55? You should stop giving your chair and your couch long, uninterrupted blocks of your life. Stop believing that sitting for 3 hours in a row is a harmless reward. Stop telling yourself, I walked a little this morning, so it's fine if I spend the rest of the day in this position. Long, continuous sitting is a separate risk from lack of formal exercise. You can go to the gym for an hour and still have poor circulation if you spend the other 15 hours of the day almost motionless. Your circulation cares about what you do across the whole day, not just a tiny part of it. And what should you start doing instead? Start seeing your day as an opportunity to keep your blood moving. Decide that for the next 30 days, you will run a simple experiment with yourself. For 1 month, you commit to 3 basic actions. First, stand and move for 2 to 3 minutes every 30 to 40 minutes of sitting. Second, take at least one gentle 10 to 20-minute walk each day at a pace where you can still talk. Third, pair your movement breaks with a few deep breaths and a sip of water. Nothing extreme, nothing heroic, just a quiet, steady change in the rhythm of your day. Here's how the benefits unfold, one layer at a time. First, your legs. You should gradually notice less swelling, less heaviness, fewer cramps. The muscles in your calves regain their function as pumps. Your ankles feel less tight at night. You can stand from a chair more easily. Second, your heart. By supporting venous return and avoiding long periods of stagnation, you reduce some of the strain on your heart. Combined with the advice of your personal doctor about diet, medications, and checkups, this habit becomes part of your heart protection toolbox. Third, your brain. Better blood flow means better oxygen delivery. People who introduce regular movement breaks often report clearer thinking, less afternoon sleepiness, and better focus. That foggy state that appears after long hours in a chair starts to fade. Fourth, your mood. Gentle movement releases substances in the body that support well-being. But beyond chemistry, there is something emotional. Every time you stand and move because you decided to, you reinforce the message, I am not powerless, I am participating in my health. That feeling is incredibly valuable. And then there is your intimate health. Stronger, more consistent circulation means better support for the physical aspects of intimacy. A body that moves more, breathes better, and carries blood more efficiently is a body with greater potential for vitality in maturity. You may notice that you feel more energy, more presence, more confidence when sharing a moment of closeness. It won't be dramatic overnight, but gradual improvements are very real. When your blood flows more freely, every system that depends on that flow has a better chance to function well. There is another detail I want you to consider: posture while sitting. It is not only about how long you sit, but also how you sit. Slouching with your pelvis tucked under, your spine curved, and your abdomen compressed further restricts your breathing and circulation. You don't need to sit like a soldier, but you can make small adjustments. Keep both feet on the floor when possible. Avoid crossing your legs for long periods. Sit close enough to the table so you're not sliding forward, and give your spine some support. This is not about perfection. It's about reducing unnecessary pressure on your vessels and nerves. You might be wondering, isn't 1 hour of structured exercise enough? Research over and over shows that 1 hour of movement does not fully cancel the damage of many hours of sitting. Of course, formal exercise is valuable. Walking, light strength training, stretching, these all help, but your body needs both. Moments of planned exercise and frequent movement throughout the day. Think of it this way. Your blood does not like being locked in a traffic jam all day, even if you let it sprint on the highway for an hour. It wants a steady, reliable flow. So the core message of this video can be summed up like this. After 55, what's truly killing your blood flow is not just what you don't do in the gym, it's what you do endlessly in your chair. Long, uninterrupted sitting is a silent toxin for your circulation, your heart, your brain, your legs, and your intimate well-being. And the antidote is both simple and powerful. Regular, gentle, intentional movement breaks woven into your everyday life. I don't want you to finish this video feeling guilty. Guilt freezes people. I want you to finish feeling empowered. If you recognized your own habits in what I described, that's not a failure, that's awareness. Awareness means you can change the script. You don't need to transform everything in one day. Start with one step that feels manageable. Maybe your first step is standing up during every commercial break. Maybe it's a short walk after lunch. Maybe it's placing a glass of water next to your favorite chair with a note that says, "Move and drink every half hour." Before we close, let me give you one sentence to carry with you. Your chronological age is printed on your ID, but the age of your circulation is written by the way you live each day. You cannot go back and change the years you already spent sitting, but you can absolutely influence the years that are coming. As long as your heart is beating, your blood vessels still have the capacity to respond to better habits. Even at 60, 70, or 80, every step, every flow break, every deep breath is an investment in your longevity and your intimate vitality. If this message resonated with you, take a moment today to observe your routine with honest eyes. Ask yourself, how many hours do I really spend sitting? Where can I insert a small break? What is one change I can start this week? You might also share this video with someone you love, a partner, a sibling, a friend who often says, "I'm exhausted, but it's just my age." Sometimes a gentle conversation is enough to wake up hope in someone who has been quietly giving up. I'm Dr. Mary Parker, urologist and wellness educator, and I want to leave you with this final reminder. You are not completely at the mercy of your birth date. Your body still holds an extraordinary potential to regain energy, circulation, and intimate well-being when you give it movement, respect, and consistent care. If you'd like to keep learning about blood flow, mature well-being, longevity, and intimate health from a natural, practical perspective, I invite you to subscribe, share your experience in the comments, and tell me, what is the one sitting habit you're ready to change starting today?